Hey guys, good morning to you again. Today we're going to talk about, the lake has been in transition. Lake Erie has been in transition for the last, probably 10 days. And now we're starting to get some stable weather. We're even looking at, can you believe it, some south winds coming in, which has been completely ridiculous. It's been 2 weeks in north or northeast winds. I'm going to talk to you just a little bit pre-brawl. This is a pre-brawl report to tell you kind of what to expect. These fish are going to be out of transition. They're going to be on the full-on bite by the time October 15 comes. So let's start first of all from Port Clinton all the way to Lorain. I'm not going to go any further than that because, to be honest, most of the concentration of fishing is going to happen from Port Clinton to Cleveland. So I'm just going to talk what I know, which is that area. A lot of people think that the only place you can win this tournament is over off of the, some pier wall on Cleveland, which is what the word in the street is that it seems like everyone wants to drive to Cleveland because that's where all the big fish and they're there at night. Let me tell you a quick story. So 2-3 years ago, me and my buddy were fishing the day after the brawl ended. We caught a 14-pounder. So obviously that fish was swimming around that water the day before and would have won the brawl by 1.5 pounds. You know where we caught him? We caught him north of Kelly Island in the cup, in Kelly's cup. A 14-pounder the day after the brawl ended, December 1 or whatever it was. It was the day afterwards, and this 3-4 years ago. My point to you is that a lot of times we get in our head that those big fish are only in one little strip of water, when really those big fish, lots of them get back into that Port Clinton area, that Huron area, Vermilion area. It's not just about how far east you can drive your boat. I'd encourage a lot of you guys to pull big crankbaits in areas that you may not necessarily think are traditional fall brawl big fish areas, because I got news for you. One of these days, somebody's going to waltz in with a fall brawl fish, and it's going to come from Sandusky Bay, or it's going to come from in front of Cedar Point or north of Kelly Island, like my buddy and I had caught that fish a few years back. So try some traditional stuff. The other thing that helps is that gets you away from the crowds. I mean, we all, there's going to be thousands, even tens of thousands of people fishing the brawl. So what do we want to do more than anything else? I want to fish clean water. I want to fish water where 27 guys haven't crisscrossed and trolled in front of me or behind me during that day. So that's one of the reasons I'm going to push outside the crowd, try to find some fresh fish, my own fish, and try to see if I can't get lucky that way. Plus, fishing is just much more enjoyable when you do that. So when you're fall brawl fishing this year, try a few different things, try a few different baits. Maybe try downriggers and shallow diving baits rather than putting them on lead core or other weight control devices. I know I'm going to do that because I can control that depth perfectly with a downrigger. There's a lot of things I'm going to try, and the biggest reason I'm going to try a lot of things this fall, because think about it, when you go fish 3 days a week for 6 weeks in a row, that's 18 fishing days. That's what I intend to fish during the brawl this year. And that gives me lots of time on the water with friends. And why not try a few presentations that you wouldn't normally do in a tournament or competition or filming setting? This is going to give me a lot more confidence for filming a lot of different ways next year. Hey, try some new stuff. Enjoy the fall brawl. I hope you catch the big one.
Over the last 25 years,
offshore tackle has
dominated the freshwater trolling industry.
For the next 25, we're not about to stop.
Precision engineering,
American reliability,
and filling thousands of live wells,
one board pullback at a time.
Offshore tackle.
The obvious choice,
my choice.
That's why offshore tackle has outperformed
and outsold any other brand in history.
Offshore tackle is your
leader in trolling technology.
So hey, one of the things I wanted to touch on as part 2 of this is just, big crankbaits. A lot of people say to me, John, what is the best bait to use at the fall of the year? To be honest with you, I've caught a lot of big fish on smaller baits just as well as bigger baits. So I'm going to throw a few names out to you. On the days where the bite seems to be hot, I'll probably be running a lot of the deep reapers, the Walleye Nation Creation reapers. I've got several custom colors that I like, as well as a couple of factory colors I really like as well. Obviously, the traditional Bandit's always going to be good. You know, my buddy Mark over at Bay's Edge Condominiums has got his new crankbait out as well, which is a Deadeye, it's called. And Tommy Harris has painted up a whole bunch of really good colors for him in the Deadeye minnow. So I'd encourage you to get over to Bay's Edge and buy a handful of those Deadeyes. I tell you what, I fished with them this spring and they're really good baits, and I think they've got the right profile to catch a lot of big fish here during the fall of the year. And you know, that's really the thing. I like having a little bit different arsenal. You never know from day to day what fish are going to prefer. There can be just slight action changes that fish want. I can tell you one thing, I'm going to have P10s with me, and on those slow days where I think the fish are lethargic and not really wanting to chase, I'll have some P10s down, because those are fish catching machine baits, especially as the water gets really cold. So try that group of baits, see how it does for you. Hey, whatever you do, get out there, enjoy the fall brawl, have lots of fun, play fair, make sure everybody on your boat is entered, and you can enter that by Googling the Fall Brawl or the Walleye Slam. Two separate tournaments running concurrently. You've got to be in both to claim both prizes. But whatever you do, make sure every single participant in your boat when you're fishing is entered in the tournaments, or otherwise that will disqualify you from that big fish award. Have fun, guys.
People ask me, hey Steve, why does your sausage, Viennas, and brats taste so great? It's what we don't put in our sausage and Viennas that make it taste so good. No artificial flavorings or fillers in our products. Just the freshest cuts of meats and the finest herbs and spices. Here at the Country Smokehouse, we make over 160 varieties of specialty sausage and jerky.
Visit the Country Smokehouse and build an unforgettable gift box.
And if you're too busy to come into the store, come visit us at countrysmokehouse.com and order your gift box.